Hello, and welcome to Time Management, a workshop brought to you by the Academic Success Coaching Program at the University of Texas at San Antonio. On our agenda for today, we will be reviewing the benefits of time management, strategies to plan your time, and tips to help with procrastination. So before we formally jump into our workshop, let's start up with a quick warm-up activity. Of these four memes, which applies most to you? In the upper right-hand corner, we have a meme of Dory. It says, after this episode, I will continue studying. Oh, look, another episode in 5, 4, 3. On the upper right-hand corner, there's a meme that says, I'm very busy doing things I don't need to do in order to avoid doing anything I'm actually supposed to be doing. On the lower left-hand corner, we have the meme with Monica from Friends. Is there a deadline? Because I already did it. And then lastly, in the lower right-hand corner, we've got the one of the panda, due tomorrow, due tomorrow. So think about which of these memes applies most to you. You'll probably find that maybe you've had maybe a combination of these happen to you, or you've been in a scenario where you shifted more towards one over the other, and that's okay. It's important to recognize that time management isn't an easy skill to master. However, it's very important to find some go-to strategies that will work for you. Let's go ahead and begin. We all know that there are benefits to time management, and some of those include that you actually get a chance to know how you're using your time. Of course, when we take our time on certain tasks and we plan ahead, we enjoy the benefit of less stress. Our productivity will rise. And of course, you have time to produce your very best work. So we all know about these benefits of time management, but somehow we're still unable to get a good handle on some strategies to help us manage our time. And as we begin to think about time management, it's important to consider the syllabi that you have for your various courses. The syllabus is a great tool to utilize, and it's really important that you actually take the time to read through each one for each of your courses. This includes a lot of important information regarding the structure of the course, how to contact and communicate with your professor, what the overall expectation is, when courses will have deadlines for papers, projects, etc., how your grades are going to be weighted, class policies, do they accept late work, is there an attendance policy, etc. So it's really important to take the time to read through each of your syllabi. And as we think about that further, a great way to start out with managing your time is to take the information that you learn from your syllabus with regards to the timeline of assignments, exams, projects, midterms, and finals. And so what you can do is that you can use this type of a semester calendar. So at the beginning of each semester, Academic Success Coaching puts out a semester calendar. So definitely refer back to our website so you can get the most current one for the current semester. So with this sort of a planner, what you would do is that you would note down all of the most important dates for exams, projects, midterms, finals, papers, etc. And what you can also do is color code it so that you can see which courses have which items during which days of the semester. This way you're able to see a pattern and kind of get a little bit of a bird's eye view and understand which weeks might be your busier ones, where maybe you've got not only an exam, but also a paper and maybe even a project for 3 different courses. Hopefully that's not always the case, but unfortunately you may find yourself in that type of a situation as the semester goes on. However, it's important to anticipate those busy weeks so that you're better prepared for them. By doing so, you'll be able to ensure that you're giving your attention to each of your courses and not having to prioritize one over the other. As we think about kind of that semester, bringing it in a little bit more focused into the week to week, this Week at a Glance planner is a great tool to use to figure out exactly where your time goes. And so time blocking is a really great strategy to figure out how you want to use your time. So you want to first begin with writing down any of your fixed commitments. So any of your synchronous classes, if you have a work schedule, if there are certain maybe club or organization meetings that you attend. Also, take an extra step and think about the times that you sleep, when you have your meals, and then focus on hard blocks. When are you going to have time to study? When are you going to build in time to review? And you can also have light blocks. So you can have breaks, free time, time for hobbies, or maybe even a sport, and also color code these so you can kind of tell the difference. As you kind of start filling up this Week at a Glance planner, you're able to see again, where is your time going? And as you start blocking different times for different activities, you'll be able to also assess what times you have available to either fill in with extra study time or to even have time for yourself. The goal is to strike a balance between both. If you keep focusing only on work, school, and not taking the breaks that you need to have some time for yourself, to spend time with loved ones, your support network, it can lead to burnout. And so you really want to avoid that so that you can, again, create a little bit of a harmony and have a little bit of balance between all of the commitments that you have and also having a little bit of time for yourself. Okay, so we've talked about time management from a semester long perspective, then kind of narrowing it down to that week to week. And so once you've established this routine, you have your time blocks set, now what? Sometimes students can get stuck on, okay, I've blocked out this hour for studying, but how do I get started? What exactly do I do? And so one great hour technique, a try. 60 minutes that's broken up into 4 sections. The first 10 minutes is made up of a preview. So whatever task is ahead of you, whether that's reading a chapter from a textbook, doing math problems, or even starting your first draft of an essay that is due. Any of those tasks, it can lend itself to using the power hour on. So that first 10 minutes is to really preview what is ahead of you, and to also take it a step forward and think of either a question that you want to know, so that you could do that with reading. Take maybe one of the headings or subheadings to create a question of what you want to know, what you want to figure out as you're reading, or to create some type of a goal. Maybe you've got 30 math problems, but you want to really challenge yourself to get at least 15 done in the 60 minutes. Or lastly, with your rough draft, maybe you want to at least get the first page done or what have you, right? But you can really, this technique can lend itself to whatever task is ahead of you. So after that preview, then you're going to spend the next 40 minutes on the actual task. Read the chapter, start your math problems, or start writing. After that time is over, and set a timer, very important to set a timer. Once the timer is done, then you're going to set a timer for a 5-minute break. So limit this break to only 5 minutes. Don't take 20 or 30 or an hour. It's really important that you stay engaged in the 60 minutes. So set it for 5 minutes, get a glass of water, stretch your legs, get a snack, but come back after the 5 minutes. And then the last 5 minutes is time set up for a review. So with that review, you're able to then kind of revisit the preview portion and think about, was I able to answer the question that I posed for myself as I began to read, right? Was I able to get close to that 15 problems? Was I able to maybe even do more? Or lastly, maybe did I get through at least the first page of my rough draft, right? It's good to kind of revisit, were you able to answer the question? Were you able to complete that goal? And so that's a really great technique, again, to bring a little bit of structure into your study sessions. But maybe you're still thinking, okay, that sounds great, but I still don't really quite know what to do in my study sessions. So to take your study session one step further, really planning what to do within your study session, not only considering the time that maybe you want to take on it, but also thinking about what is going to maximize my effort in the time given. And so thinking about structuring any of your study sessions with Bloom's taxonomy in mind could really be helpful. So as you can see in the image here with Bloom's taxonomy, it's initially a 6-level type of learning pyramid. And so at the base of the pyramid, it's kind of using more of those lower order thinking skills, remembering, understanding, applying. As we get to the top of the pyramid, it engages more of our higher order thinking skills, analyzing, evaluating, creating. And so as we're thinking about coordinating what type of content we want to tackle in our study sessions, think about how you can apply Bloom's taxonomy to your study sessions. So start off each week slowly by maybe introducing the key terms and defining them. That way you're kind of hitting the bottom of that pyramid. You're remembering, you're understanding. Then in the middle of the week, maybe use another one of your study time blocks to use that newfound information to make connections with terms and concepts. That way, again, we're making our way up to the top of the pyramid, really engaging in those higher order thinking skills. We're able to apply and analyze. And then towards the end of the week, create quizzes to test yourself. So again, that's us getting to the top of the pyramid where we're evaluating and we're actually creating. We're doing something with the knowledge that we have. We are creating this quiz that's going to really help us figure out and assess, kind of where we are. So, this is just kind of a great way to, again, take your study session to the next level. If you, don't quite know how to structure your study session or what exactly you should be doing, really consider using that power hour in conjunction with Bloom's taxonomy as you kind of work your way from that base level of your knowledge into really growing and developing into that last kind of creating stage where we're engaging those higher order thinking skills. So now that we have a little bit of information and some tools, I encourage you to try to set your own weekly planner. And so if you can, take a moment to download the Week at a Glance Word document and plan out your schedule for the next week. So this is just kind of a great way to practice wherever you are in the week. Go ahead, download the planner from our website. And it's Academic Success Coaching. If you just Google UTSA Academic Success Coaching, you'll definitely find it. There is a link that I referenced earlier as well. But with that planner, just think about what your next week looks like. Think about how you can block out times to study, when you have your classes, et cetera. As you can see in this example, it has study time, it's got classes, it's got sleep, it's got work schedule, just to kind of give you a little bit of a visual of what that would look like as you start color coding and blocking out times. Within each time that you make to study, write out a goal that you plan to accomplish using Bloom's taxonomy. So I know this might be a little weird because it's new, it's different, but practice can help build that skill. So again, as an example, maybe on Monday you'll list out your key terms and your definitions. By Wednesday you're creating maybe a mind map to make connections for each definition, and then by Friday you're creating a Quizlet regarding what you learned the past week, right? So it's really kind of this evolution of your learning where you're kind of layering on a little bit more, adding it so that it becomes much more of a meaningful study session than, okay, I'm just going to write out some vocabulary terms and I'm going to try to memorize them, right? So it's really trying to take an added step in how you're studying and what you're choosing and how you're choosing to use that time. So definitely I encourage you to take that challenge and create your own weekly schedule. And so let's go ahead and keep going through the workshop. And so definitely this is a great challenge for yourself to, again, kind of put into practice what we've already talked about when it comes to planning for the week. So procrastination. So with creating such a beautiful plan, a beautiful weekly planner, procrastination might rear its ugly head and it might interrupt your beautiful plan. And so when we think about procrastination, part of it is getting to the root of the issue and the problem. So understanding why you procrastinate can be beneficial. If you reflect on um, your previous experience as a student, I'm sure there's time that you've procrastinated. Procrastination is normal. There's no shame in it. Everyone does it. But what the difference is if you choose to no longer procrastinate, or if you want to change that behavior, then feel empowered to do so. It's never too late to try something new. So when we're thinking about procrastination, really kind of take a moment to reflect to what the last time was, or when the last time was that you procrastinated. So whether it was maybe on a certain type of task or certain course subject, et cetera. Think about it and then figure out why you felt stuck, or why did you feel like you could not complete that task earlier than waiting till the last minute. And so some common things that people will share is that they feel like the task is too long to complete. It's going to take too much time, and therefore they don't want to do it, or they feel better putting it off. Others might feel that they don't have the skills or the tools necessary to complete the task. Maybe they feel that they don't really quite understand the material so well, so they feel like they're not going to be able to complete that homework. Or maybe they've done a really great job on the past exam, and so now they feel, oh wow, I can't top that. I got an A. I don't know if I'm going to be able to match that success again. Or they might feel that, whatever the task is in front of them, they might feel that it's pointless, or they don't agree with it, or they don't feel like it's worth their time, right? So why should I do it? So really take a moment to reflect back on the last time that you procrastinated, or even see if there's a pattern that you can identify. Is it related to thinking that a task is going to take too long? Is it related to a certain course subject? Maybe it's math. Math has always been challenging, and that's one area that you tend to procrastinate often in, but really think about it. So part of the challenge is, of course, understanding procrastination, is if there's a pattern, if there's certain habits that you have with procrastination, but then it's also thinking about, okay, how can I view this as a problem? How can I solve this? I've most likely been here before. What worked? And so here are a couple tips to avoid procrastination. So keep an open mind, give it a try. It just might work. So if you're thinking about procrastination, first and foremost, change your attitude. If you feel that it's something that you're just not good at, or you've never been good at, or you're not smart enough to do this, absolutely change your attitude. Try to be more positive and really challenge yourself from more of a growth mindset, looking at it from an opportunity to develop your skills, understanding that you're here to learn. You're not going to know everything, and it's okay to feel uncomfortable in feeling new to a certain concept. So really focus on changing your attitude so that you can remain positive and really challenge yourself to learn something new. Also, creating a to-do list can be really helpful if you feel overwhelmed. There are so many different things flying around that you need to kind of put down on paper so that you don't let, drop one. Creating that to-do list can help you kind of have an order of the tasks that you need to get done. Taking that a step further, prioritizing and planning can be really helpful for that to-do list. Not everything needs to get done this very instance. So think about, okay, how can I prioritize this? What needs to get done today? What can I get done tomorrow? And so on. What can I make progress on as well? Again, you don't want to wait until it's due that same day. And then creating a plan. So maybe using that week at a glance to figure out how you're going to create small steps towards that larger task that you need to get done. And then timing yourself, that can really help you with some of these power hours. You might have a better handle on how long it takes you to get something done, so that the next time you've got a similar task, you can understand that, oh, I've gotten that done in a timely fashion before, I can do it again. Also, use an accountability buddy. So if you have a peer that's taking the same class with you, try to find ways to hold each other accountable. Check in with one another. Hey, have you started on your paper? No, I haven't. Have you? No. All right, let's at least get our outlines done by, you know, this weekend or what have you, right? So find a way to kind of work with someone to help hold yourself accountable, and that other person too. Then also reward yourself. If it's something that you don't want to do, sometimes we're motivated by rewards or by things that we want to treat ourselves, and that can kind of help with helping you move forward through a task that you're not really looking forward to. And whether that reward is, a day out with a friend, or buying something new that you've been wanting, right? Kind of whatever works for you, that and is is doable. Definitely do that. Also seek help. It's okay to ask for help. You are not in this alone. Of course, you have your support network, you've got your family, you've got friends, you have loved ones, but then you also have your campus resources that are there to help support you. Show yourself some compassion. Starting something different, trying something new isn't always easy. Procrastination is nothing to be ashamed of. People do it every day. The difference is that if you want to change that habit and not wait till the last minute on so many things, then be patient with yourself. It takes time for individuals to figure out what strategies work best for them. So in closing, just to wrap up, practicing time management will help you succeed not only in college, but beyond. Whatever you choose to do after UTSA, whether that's grad school or that first full-time professional position, whatever you do, you're still going to be responsible for managing your time and managing priorities. And so if you can nail down some strategies that work well for you now, it's only going to serve you in the future. Also, keep track of how your semester and your week will look like, right? These are things that are important that will help you keep track of all of your different deadlines, will help you manage your time better, so you can try to create that balance for personal time and for time for academics and work and organizations and all the other things that you might be involved in. Also, creating a plan is helpful, and the follow through is vital. So creating a plan is amazing. It's awesome, but it's not going to serve you well unless you actually follow through and do what you said you were going to do. And then lastly, of course, want some more support? Use your campus resources. You've already paid for them in your fees, so why not actually use them? And speaking of, feel free to visit our website listed here. On the webpage, you can see there are a lot of links at the bottom for different types of helpful handouts in topics such as planning calendars, time management, goal setting, general study skills. We've got a lot of great topic areas there. So if you're looking, again, for additional support, use your resources. These are a couple of handouts here. And then also, if you could, please go ahead and scan the QR code or visit the bit.ly link listed here below to complete a brief evaluation. We enjoy any and all of your feedback. It helps us create our workshops with students in mind, and it can allow us to really incorporate anything new or engaging that you've seen in other workshops. If you'd like for us to give that a try, we're absolutely open to that and look forward to hearing from y'all. And lastly, I know I mentioned it several times, the importance of using your campus resources, and that actually is inclusive of academic success coaching. So academic success coaching is the opportunity for students to meet one-on-one with a coach to discuss any study skill concerns that they may have in any of the topic areas listed there. So time management, organization, motivation, online text book reading, exam prep, and more. So a lot of different topics that we talk about, and you're able to meet one-on-one with a coach to talk about the ones that you would like to enhance, which study skills you would like to improve. And so we're happy to meet with you. Feel free to fill out our interest form at bit.ly/ASC interest. So you can fill out your availability and what topic areas you'd like to address with a coach. And then once it's received, a coach will go ahead and contact you to confirm your appointment with them. Feel free to follow us on social media as well, as we like to send out or share out information on study tips and upcoming workshops like the one that you had today. So thanks so much for your attendance, for your attention, and have a wonderful rest of the semester. Go Runners.